Hey everybody, Mark here. Quick update for you. So if you recall, the North Okanagan housing market opened 2026 on relatively solid footing. We outperformed much of the province, if you recall me chatting about last month. So January sales were down 1% year over year, but they were just 10% off the 10-year average, if you recall. February, bit of a different story. There was actually a notable pullback in sales. We only had 88 sales last month, which is down from 113 the year before. So that's down 22%. And year over year, that's 26% below the 10-year average. So these are actually the lowest sales figures we've seen for the month of February in the past 10 years. So ouch. Having said that though, despite softer sales, prices held firm. The median selling price reached $644,000 and the average selling price was just over $705,000. So both were up 7% year over year. Median was down from January, but average selling price was actually up from January. If we look at the composite benchmark price for the overall market, the prices were up 2% year over year. And keeping with benchmark, if we look at specific property types, both single-family homes and townhomes were up slightly, while condo prices did dip year over year. If we look at the inventory climbed to 751 active listings, and that's actually near a 10-year high, though we're still well short of kind of the levels we saw back between 2010 and 2016. I mean, those numbers were always over 1,000, up to 1,500 listings at any one time. So the sales to active listings ratio was 11.7%. So we're still kind of straddling that fence between a buyer's market and a balanced market. If we look at the central Okanagan, sales were flat down in the central Okanagan year over year, but they're still 22% below the 10-year average. And the composite benchmark price was also down 2.6% year over year. If we look at the sales to active listings ratio for the central Okanagan, it was at 11%, so pretty close to what we saw up in the North Okanagan. And again, they're still in that buyer's market, but almost moving over into a balanced market. Province-wide sales were down 9.7% year over year for the month of February. So where are we? Well, given the market's resilience through most of 2025, February's dip might just prove to be a bit of a blip, although there's speculation out there right now about rising interest rates with wars and stuff like that going on. So this definitely bears watching as we head into the spring market. So what does this all mean if you're a buyer? So with the increased inventory, especially as we head into the spring market, it means you might have some negotiating power out there, especially if you're looking at homes that have been sitting on the market for a while. If you are a seller, I've been saying this for quite a while now, for at least the last year and a half, 2 years, it's a fickle market. So you need to have your pricing pretty much spot on. You miss it by a little bit and it's crickets. If you nail your pricing, you might actually have some multiple offers, or if nothing else, sell quite quickly. That's it in a nutshell for the month of February. Yeah, a bit of a hit there for the North Okanagan, but I feel it will be a blip. We'll see what happens as we head into the spring market though. Till next time, peace.